Disney will cause we have County Commission Court to order for Monday, March 24th. Would you stand guard for the prayer, please? Thank you, God, for this day and for this new week that you've given us. We pray that you continue to watch over and protect us, and we pause and reflect on our happiness because of you. We ask that you please carry us throughout this week. We ask for your peace to fill our hearts and to calm our worries. Please, Lord, we pray that you will provide us with abundant rain to water our pastures, to fill our lakes, and to flow our streams. Please, God, continue to bless us. And God, please bless America. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the citizens' communication. We have Anna Cruz.
Good morning, Deanna O'Reilly. I wanted to start my comments to the council, to the commissioners, to say two things. One was, I still have not seen the budget for the resiliency center, the full budget for the resiliency center, which this commissioner's court approved. It's still not on your website. I requested it from your auditor several weeks ago, no response. Also, last time I was here, I addressed the commissioners and asked about how is all of the time and energy that your law enforcement entities are putting into the border crisis and the time that officers are spending doing that kind of work. How is that affecting local crime, local arrests, local investigation, local prosecution? When all of your county employees came up to address my question, they didn't answer it. Patted themselves on the back for all the good work they're doing, finding well, but the question was never answered. This morning, I'd also like to once again ask this commissioner's court about the animal control department that was created this year for this budget. I reached out to my Commissioner Vargas, I reached out to Commissioner Yeakel, and asked them both about that allocation. Both of them indicated they really did not know about the creation of a position, necessarily how that all came about. One of the county commissioners indicated that county judge has some authority to do some of those employment types of decisions, but as I look at your interlocal agreement that you entered into this year with the Crystal Animal Resource Center, it indicates that it is the sole responsibility of the commissioner's court. So you as a party should know, and should be able to answer the question about how that department was created, how the decisions were made about where those dollars would be spent. And if you don't know, it really doesn't reflect well on you as an individual commissioner or you as a court. That is why I would once again ask this court to please do workshops where your department heads come forward before the public and tell us what they're doing, what their needs are, and how they want to spend the dollars that you approved for their departments. I look back, I woke up at 3:30 this morning with all kinds of questions in my head about this issue. And I went back and I looked at your minutes, I looked at your agendas, I looked at your videos with the commissioners meeting, and I see that as far back as October of 2022, the conversation began. And Judge Kimball came before you and basically asked for 2 or 3 different options for you to consider. At that time, she indicated Heather Stunkel would be an excellent person to put in that position, finding well. But again, how did this all come about? I look back at records, I will come back to address this court. Really, I would like some answers from this commissioner's court. All of you are responsible for that budget.
Thank you. Ms. Cruz is the only one that signed up for public information, public speaking, so we'll go to item number 3, and that's consider an act upon approval of minutes. You have before you the minutes of March the 10th. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Commissioner Parkins, is there a second? Commissioner Copeland, did you talk about that? One out, correct. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4 is consider an act on the final plat approval of Karen subdivision. At our last meeting, we had a presentation by the engineer, Kenneth Duxon, for the Karen subdivision. There was one correction that we made, or actually 2 corrections that we made on the application. It kind of goes 342, and I think at one point we had 340.
It's 392 is where it's supposed to
We
be.
had 390, it's
No, it
392.
was 342, we changed it to 390.
It's supposed to be 392 on the application, it showed 340.
Right.
So that correction was made, as well as the school district was the Uvalde school district, but actually should be the Savannah school district. So we made those 2 corrections. Anything else on that one that needs to be considered? If not, is there a motion to approve? Commissioner Copeland, is there a second? Commissioner Yeagle, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is consider an act on the Texas Hill Country River Region 2024 annual report. Any comment?
I'm sorry for the delay in this. I blinked in March. So, a little bit behind, but we got it together. So if you want to, do you all have copies?
Yes.
Okay. So page 3 just kind of gives you an overview of what's in here. If you want to skip to page 4. So this is our hot revenue trends. Since 2021, we're continuing to see a decrease, which we believe is due to the ongoing drought. We are predicting a further 20% decrease for 2025, as long as the drought continues. If it does persist, we're going to focus on mitigating the summer decline and just hopefully keep it the same rather than declining, and then drive increased off-season vegetation. We have some events and other things going on that we're trying to focus on off-season to hopefully get those numbers up. They're not as focused around the river, so we're thinking it would be a good turn. As far as advertisements go on page 5, we started 2024 with ad KOA, and we were running strictly television ads in quarter 4, or we ended with them in quarter 3, and we started using Media One as our new advertising partner, while we sent out RFPs to multiple agencies. Media One was great and got our numbers up. We had lots of attention on us, positive attention, and we started the RFP process. With that, across the board, our social media is up. We have great reach all across Texas. Our main markets are still Houston and Corpus, and then followed by Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas. Our river cleanup was a great year. We collected over 20,000 pounds between our contractor and our volunteer program. We had 204 participants in our trash bash in September, and we had roll-offs that we placed at 7 lefts, 19 Mile and Cooksey Dam during the July 4th week before, weekend, and week after, which brought in approximately 15,000 pounds of trash. Our trash bash, we donated over $9,000 to local nonprofits, and we had a huge impact. It almost tripled the numbers from the previous year. In April, we had our total solar eclipse. This was years and years of making and lots of planning to get to place. We ended up having 34,000 visitors approximately in the county. 10,000 of those stayed overnight, some length of stay, and 24,000 came just for the day. The weather didn't cooperate like we wanted to, but it was still something. We had more than we usually do in April, so it was a success. and to us. We have event marketing grants that we give out to local businesses. They do have to apply for it. It takes, they have to apply at least 90 days in advance. And then there's a few regulations and stipulations that they have to follow. And then they have to submit a post-event form, and we do it as a reimbursement so that we can check that they did tag us, they did post everything, they use the funds for marketing, that way we can just kind of look over it all, and then we will reimburse them within 2 weeks of this submitting all of that. We proposed a hot tax change in Ward 4. So this is currently in legislation, last I checked this morning, and it was recommended to Ways and Means, and it's been read, I believe, once so far. So we'll, waiting on further updates from that. But it's basically just to realign us with the majority of Texas so that we can use our funds in more appropriate ways than just marketing to bring people to our area.
Is it going to mirror what we already do? The city already does.
Yes. And the river cleanup portion will stay. So that 75% is the only part that we're asking to change to mirror the city. Looking forward to 2025, as you can see, this report looks a little bit different than your previous reports that you've seen. We are launching a rebrand that'll be launched here pretty soon. This is the first piece of material that's gone out with our new branding. And we're focusing more on year-round tourism rather than just summer. Where summer's been our main focus, we're now kind of focusing more on the off-season. We're looking towards getting a night sky friendly certification for CONCAN to attract the eco-tourists. We're enhancing our marketing efforts. We did end up partnering with Mag Media, who is one of the probably the number one branding, marketing agencies in the nation for destinations. They had us an immersion trip 2 weeks ago, and they've already started on those efforts. Our campaign that we're running is going to be the senses of Uvalde County, so we're going to really focus on the sights and sounds and everything we can do kind of outdoors within the county. And then our social media has been realigned, so now rather than being Texas Hill Country River Region online, we are now officially Visit Uvalde County, Texas, and have more recognition when we post and people looking for us.
Question. So the new legislation you consider is good, something?
Yes. It'll just give us more. Right now, we can only spend the dollars on marketing for the cleanup, so it'll just give us some more options. We can actually pay for events and track.
Other questions? Yeah, thank you. Your comment about having 20,000 pounds of trash picked up and using over 200 participants. The cleaning is a great thing, except for I wish we didn't have to do that. I wish people would take the trash back home with them and not leave it on the river, so we wouldn't have to clean it up. Thank y'all for doing that. Is there a motion to accept the report?
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Marshall, is there a second? Commissioner Copeland, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item number 6, and that's to consider and act upon execution and approval of an interlocal agreement with the city of Uvalde relating to participation in reinvestment zone number 1, city of Uvalde, pursuant to chapters 791 Texas Government Code and chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code. Jeffrey Earl is here to represent the applicant and the request for this agreement.
Just for hand out for you guys. Good morning, honorable judges and commissioners. For the record, my name is Jeffrey Earl with Uvalde Earl and Associates. We're on behalf of Uvalde Development Company, Uvalde Limiters. So we're here to discuss the reinvestment zone number 1, city of Uvalde. On the second page, it's named out. You see the boundaries of the existing TERS. Proposed uses with mixed use, commercial, residential, multifamily, and industrial. TERS history to date, so this has been in the works for a little over a year now, and on March 11th, the city unanimously approved to create the TERS and adopted the annexation agreement, the development agreement, as well as the interlocal agreement that's before you here today to participate in this tax reinvestment zone. One of the key things that a lot of jurisdictions care about is oversight over these TERSs. And so the TERS board acts as a recommending body to city council. The city maintains oversight of that board and makes its appointments. The county, should you choose to enter the interlocal and participate, would also have an appointment to that board, have a designee on that board. And then also annually, the city would need to provide a status report to the county, including items such as the amount and source of revenue to the TERS fund, the amount and purpose of the expenditures from that TERS fund, the amount of principal and interest due on any outstanding debt, and then the tax rate base and capture of gross value retained by the TERS. On the next page, you'll see the sources and uses. So what the TERS funds would go to contribute towards. It's all public infrastructure, streets, utilities, linear parks, engineering, and contingency. Would assist in the city constructing a new water tower, which is much needed to expand its utilities, as well as some widening of some streets and finishing some streets that are needed. And then so today on your agenda would be that interlocal to participate in the TERS, and then the other item would be to make your appointment to the TERS board should you choose to enter into the interlocal agreement.
Any questions? Just for myself here, tell me how the city benefits, the developers benefit. Tell us how it's a win-win situation for the county.
Yeah, absolutely. So the TERS allows for economic growth to occur and helps the tax base increase. So the developer will spend money putting in this public infrastructure and then is eligible for reimbursement, provided they do everything correctly, properly bid, submit all of the receipts, everything the right way, then they're eligible for reimbursement. And so it's to grow the tax base. And so the developer wins in the sense that they know that if they perform, if they develop, if they build value for the city and county, then there's a chance of reimbursement for those items. The county benefits in a way because of the annexation as well. It would be less services to the area being annexed. And so as those properties enter into the city, the tax burden's off the county, the financial burden's off the county to maintain them. And you get the benefit of those tax dollars in year 30 when the TERS terminates, or before then if the TERS performs well. And so it just helps stimulate and grow your tax base.
The reimbursement portion of it goes back to the developers.
Yes.
Is that 100% of the cost goes back to them?
Yeah, the eligible reimbursable costs. So in the project and financing plan, which is an attachment to that interlocal, it has the list of those things, and I've inserted that chart as well. If they spend money on those things that are part of that project and financing plan, public infrastructure, and they publicly bid and build those things out and have receipts and all that, cancel checks, then they're eligible for that reimbursement from the TERS funds when they're available. It's going to take a while for those funds to build up in the actual TIP funds, so it'll take a while for the tax base to grow. But yes, sir, that's how we operate.
So that fund grows by the tax property.
Yes, so the taxes within the zone with the county and city are currently collecting, they continue to collect for the full 30 years. I think it's a little over $2 million in value. That taxable value is locked as of January 1st, 2025. And the revenues you receive on it, you continue to. Whatever growth that the tax creates, the increase in value, that's called the increment. And so the taxes that come in, property taxes that come in on that increment go to the TERS fund, sit there eligible for reimbursement to the developer. And there's a max cap on the county's contribution as well as the city's, and what the developer is allowed to be reimbursed based on these estimated costs. If they reach that cap, then that's it, right? TERS can terminate early, and any funds that are still available will be redistributed back to the county and the city.
Cap is.
The cap is about $22 million, so additional projects for the city's water tower and lighting in the street, the owner. And then also some financing costs in that as well. So that cap is about $22 million.
Right there, you say those items not in this over here, 14 million, is it 22 million?
Yes, sir. So,
And you say, number two, provides financing option. So it's not in for the water tower, it's not in the 14 million.
that is included in that 14 million.
Water tower is included in the 14 million?
Yes. So what it does is it allows the city, it gives them a vehicle outside of regular general fund, to go and finance and secure additional municipal debt. That gives them revenue stream for the TERS to roll out the financing option to.
If I may ask a question, the tax rate calculation, which does include any and all TERS that we participate in, I'm gonna need copies of whatever you sign or do, if indeed we do move forward. And then more of a one-on-one conversation, before I start the tax rate, since we've never done one before.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether it's with advance, it doesn't matter. In order to be sure we're handling it correctly, I recommend to the court that I would put that on the case.
Yeah.
Two questions. So first, the infrastructure question. Does this provide potential outlets to the north properties, where you use your scooter on Market Road at the stage? So this includes that northbound, southbound from the
It's included in the construction plans, and I believe the construction of that is pretty much underway.
That was one question. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, understanding correctly, so basically, the investor has, either the 30-year window to recoup, or if they early, it's default back to us.
Correct.
So essentially, all the risk and the exposure is on the client.
Absolutely right.
Other questions?
Yeah, about how long it might take to build that out.
Yes.
We'll go to full page.
So we did very considerable. If you go to the, one of the exhibits in the interlocal agreement, there's a project financing plan, preliminary project financing plan adopted by the city. And it's a little bit later on in there, it's exhibit 4, it's called preliminary project financing plan. And it has estimated build outs on there.
Is that exhibit 80?
Okay.
Exhibit 80, exhibit B says, that's
So, yeah, it takes it out to, the estimated build out goes to about 42 is the estimated build out. We're hoping to beat that. We're very conservative in the modeling. And so the revenue right now is projected to go 30, but again, we're very conservative that build out goes quicker, sooner, and then the TERS will terminate earlier.
And I would just point out that the water tower is a perfect example, that the city has needed that for years, not enough water pressures and issues, that if the tiers wasn't on the table, it's still a necessity that the city would have needed, they would have had debt service, and everyone in the city would have shared the cost of that. And the TERS, it's only going to be debt service by the property within the TERS, right?
That's right.
Or it could be joint finance by the city, that is, portion by the city, portion by the
Yeah.
TERS.
So once they have more accurate cost estimates, if it's over and above what we've estimated in the plan, then that would probably be a joint project.
Okay, county's locking in their tax rate.
Yes. That's correct.
So Judge Mitchell, just to be sure, and honestly, just financially, it's a positive thing, although it's the court's decision. It appears there's a board member that reflects us.
I'm sorry, say that again.
It appears there's gonna be a board member on
I
this.
have one more.
Okay, and so the gentleman on the front row who we generally dump with all my grants, would be someone, although it's not in my decision at all, we need someone that's, because you aren't going to be dealing with the math.
Yeah.
Y'all are. It's going to be my office,
Yeah.
some of Joni's office, and then whoever that person is. So I just would like to put that forward.
Is that person appointed annually or
So
until it's replaced?
yes, it's, the church board members serve 2-year terms by statute, so every 2 years you would nominate your designee, and it could be the same person or whoever, at your discretion.
And everybody gets a 2-year term, or is there some sort of staggered, or is it, could be possibly turn over every 2 years?
It can be staggered, but it would likely turn over every 2 years. So it's, so every 2 years, the appointment would be made, and then annually, the city would need to appoint the chairman of the board would be on an annual basis per statute.
And some of these appointments are by office, like the state representative has one on there, state senator.
Yes, you're correct. That's correct. So there's a total of 9 members contemplated. And so 2 of the members were just by virtue of their position, the state rep and state senator automatically get a board seat no matter what. There's no term limit on that.
Is it that person or is it their representative?
They can designate that they're allowed to designate a proxy. And then there's 6 appointed by the city, and then the 7th would be else.
Other questions?
I'm assuming the board essentially, for simplicity's sake, operates sort of like planning and zoning board, where they give their 2 cents, but ultimately the council still has to agree on whatever they do.
That's correct, yes. And every reimbursement request it'll be recommended by the church board for approval. They'll check everything out, but ultimately it's up to the city to approve those. It's up to the city to approve the final project and financing plan. The church board recommends approval of that to the city. And then also in the interlocal agreement contemplated today, there's a 25% variation. It's basically if that plan changes by more than 25%, it would be a violation of the interlocal. So there's certain things that can be spent, obviously, in public infrastructure is eligible, but if for whatever reason they wanted to turn toward the city with road and try to add to the project development line, there's that 25% variation. Yes.
Although we've been talking about, I think there may be some things there in the school. There's also a portion of it, is that correct, over behind the golf course? Is that correct?
On the map, yes, I believe so. Yes.
Adjacent to the theater.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just want to make sure everybody understands.
So I assume those carve-outs that are not encompassed are folks who opted out.
Not necessarily opted out, it was areas that we felt were fully developed. In other words, they weren't gonna get redeveloped or add new development. Because the growth is already there, and so just the average appreciation that's gonna happen, didn't wanna take that away from the county and city. So it's the properties that were chosen were based on what we think would be redeveloped or developed for the first time.
Also, we've been following the traffic around Dalton School. Having 2 elementary schools in all those residential areas, you say that the oldest gonna be widened, is it gonna be widened all the way to the 90 or how far out?
Yes, I believe so, and then also that connector road should probably get some of those traffic.
So look out more exits out of it, just.
TERS was created by the legislature.
Yes, so the tax increment reinvestment funds are allowed under Chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code, created by the state legislature. It's one of the economic tools they've given cities and counties to help spur economic development and growth in their communities.
There's numerous cities, communities participating.
Yes, I believe there's over 400 TERSs active in Texas today.
Other questions? Diane, quick.
Piano Villa Peru. As you probably know, I have been very vocal about this project, and my primary reason is that basically it's the use of the funds for private gain, and the opportunities of those that are able to ask for these types of tax abatements is people with means, people with wealth, people with money, and it is good in terms of the infrastructure that is provided as part of the projects, but we continue to neglect our poor neighborhoods, and which also have need. And so how does our city and our county find ways to help those communities, those neighborhoods that are your voters? I know sometimes people within the city limits are told, well, you live in the city, the county can't. Well, you could do an interlocal agreement with the city of Uvalde to help repair streets or repair infrastructure. You could do that, but I don't think you've ever done that. And so if you're entering into an interlocal agreement with the city of Uvalde in order to abate some of the county taxes for this project, is it a 25% abatement that you're giving up, or is it 100%? Is it in the interlocal agreement? What are you agreeing to give up in terms of the abated tax?
The value of
Value added to the property.
So
the
all,
value over
Right.
the days
so all of it,
up until they're reimbursed with.
right, so all of it, 100% of the
Of
abatement.
the improvement.
Of the improvement.
Right, so I know that
Incremental.
there's a base rate that is there now, whatever the value of the appraised that they get to pay, which is an ag exemption, so they don't pay a whole bunch of taxes on that
That's correct.
value, I understand that. And so it's frozen at whatever it is now, so anything over that, you're saying to me, the development will get, so
Until they're removed.
you're giving 100% of the abatement to the project.
Right.
We're abating that part until, just like we would.
Right, until
like
it's
we've done in other
reimbursed.
situations.
Right,
We're still gonna get that basin out, we're still gonna get that ag.
no, I
We're still gonna
understand,
get that small ag.
but you won't get anything over that until it's,
That's right.
until the reimbursement of the development.
And keep in mind, things like that water tower are astronomically
Oh,
expensive.
no,
And everyone in the city, even the poorest neighborhoods, have to bear the expense of that
absolutely.
outside of the project.
Absolutely, and I know it's needed, I've had relatives who live over there, so they're very appreciative. But again, how does this county help the citizens that put you in office, John, Mr. Vargas, Mr. Garza? I don't know if Mr. Copeland has any city of Uvalde voters, but Judge Mitchell.
Value.
And so, how are you going to give back to them? Interlocal agreements with the city of Uvalde to give them some money to help with infrastructure and streets. It's within your ability to do that. So, kind of robbing it. Into the rich, you know, whatever. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Is your motion on the tax?
So
Commissioner Yeagle, is there a second?
I'll say.
Commissioner Copeland, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Takes us to item number 7, and that's consider an act on making an appointment to the reinvestment zone number 1, the City of Valley Board of Directors. As Earl has pointed out, the county has one appointment to that board, and we can now nominate an individual for that position.
Carl Lessing?
Carl Esser.
Sorry, Carl.
With you, sir.
There you go.
Maybe I'll reconsider that.
Would you accept that appointment?
I'll be glad to do whatever I can.
I'll take that in the form of a motion, please.
We have a formal motion from Mr. Esser. Is there a second to that? Mr. Garza and Mr. Vargas. Discussion on that motion. I think you had a shock from us.
It's like foot drink.
Teach you not to sit in the front row.
Yeah. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, you can't vote on that one. Motion carries. Move to item number 8, and that's consider an act on award bids. We got one bid for, probably want to try Wendy, you want that?
Go with it.
Good morning, everyone. So just a reminder, when we built, well, I wasn't here, but when the arena at the Fairplex was built, the lighting in both arenas were metal halide, which is like the school gymnasium lighting, which puts out a lot of great lights. However, we do have a lot of little power outages in that part of the Uvalde, west side of Uvalde, Valley Estates. So anytime there's a little glitch, especially in the summer when it's hot, a little glitch in the electricity, those metal halides will go out and they don't come back on for sometimes 10 minutes, which is fine unless you're having a rodeo and there's a little kid on a horse going 20 miles an hour through the arena and the lights go out. So we have been correcting that. A couple years ago, we budgeted and we replaced all of the lighting in the north arenas, the main rodeo arenas. So we got that done under budget. And then now, this current budget, it's been approved to do the south arena lighting. So we have 39 metal halide light fixtures that need to be replaced. So we replaced the ones in the north arena a year or two ago with LED. So we're going back. So it'll save us money on our electric bills and it'll be safe. It won't go off and not come back on. So we put out bids to do the south arena to replace 39 of the metal halides with LED. And those are the bids that were received. Number three bidders crossed out because they did not meet the bid specs requirements. So that leaves 3 bids, and I'm going to recommend that we award the project to bidder number 2, which came in as the lowest bid, Angel Light and Signs.
Questions of Wendy?
Sounds a bit different between 2 and 4. Would that be for the same amount of work?
Some of the projects overkilled the lighting, the light fixtures. There's a $100+ difference in some of just the single light fixtures, and we needed 39 of them, so it adds up pretty quick.
They're also relatively new to this
The
country.
people,
Vermont.
gotcha. Yeah, they wanted to be real bright in there.
Comments, questions?
You recommended number 2?
Yes, sir. That's perfect.
I make a motion to approve.
And a motion by Commissioner Garza to accept Angel Light and Signs. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Partis, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 9 is consider an act on the Texas Social County Cybersecurity Awareness House.
Texas Government Code 2054.5191 requires all county employees, elected officials, and appointed officials who have access to a local government computer system or database and use a computer to perform at least 25% of their duties must complete an annual cybersecurity training. We've been doing this since 2019, the same concept. The only difference now is they charge me $5 every person. You gotta make money, they gotta tax for it. So, we are ready to begin that process. The process, as you know, goes through all 200 email people I have unless, they do not qualify because of the 25%, which would be, for instance, our maintenance people and some of our road people. We will finish up. Melissa Graham, Draper, runs this project for my department, and I'm recommending that we go ahead and contract with Pat for this. And probably the 1st of August, we'll be coming with you with a completion.
So we're having to start August, get this done.
No, I give them till the 1st of July.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you give them too long, it just doesn't happen. And then you got it, it's just like anything else, so
Alright.
you'll get that, and then we'll be in compliance.
Cybersecurity awareness training, that's,
Recommendation is your motion. Mr. Vargas, is there a second? Second. Mr. Rogers, discussion?
July first, so deadline is.
July first. So get home, get it done, okay? All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10 is consider an act on the road district report fee. Walking up.
Yes, another crisis down the hall. Remember we got that?
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Jason. This is reports from March the 6th to March the 19th. With bladed roads in precinct 3 and precinct 4. Patched holes in precincts 1, 3, and 4. We cut grass on 400, 416, 428, 429, 429 A, B, and C. And we've been cutting brush on County Road 301 and 303. Equipment was moved from County Roads 368 to 429 and from County Road 350 to 336. Equipment was also moved to Uvalde Estates and West Cooksey Park. We cut back tree limbs with chainsaws on 367 and 373 in Infinite. We replaced the bridge guardrails on County Road 350 at Pagan Creek, I believe this one. And just a side note, the bottom of those holes that we re-drilled, that water somewhere. Anyhow, and then, yeah, I should have replaced and installed roadway sign on County Road 350, 373, 374, 416, and then all in States. We refurbished the blinking lights on the four-way stop. We put in new batteries and everything. We got like the Walton, Homestead, Plateau. The 12 bus stops at Uvalde Estates all have lights and all have signs on 3 directions on all of them. And I've monitored and supervised all the work. Outlined in this report, and do y'all have any questions?
Questions or needs?
The job on Washington Street, on the freeway. I know, I did it every night when I go home.
It better be.
Is there a motion to accept the report? Commissioner Vargas, is there a second? Mr. Gale, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11 is consider an act on line of budget amendments. We have none this morning. Diane, did you still want to say something?
No, thank you.
Item number 12 is consider an act on approving monthly reports. Diane, did you want to say something?
Yeah, Novella Peru. I would like to ask the court to please consider putting the whole agenda, all of the reports, all of the things that you look at that are public information, because I know that you would never be able to put private information on the website, that you post that agenda with all of the documents so that the citizens of Uvalde can be informed and aware of what the court is considering before the fact instead of after the fact. If you're able to do that, very easy to load those documents onto your website. And I don't really understand why you don't. Also, I did sign up to speak on the appointment. Mr. Esser has been selected. I believe John Yeagle or Mr. Cookman would have been a very, very good
That's not
representative.
the item you discussed.
I know, but I wanted to say that because I did sign up.
Any discussion on the approval of monthly reports? Is there a motion to approve? Mr. Parsons, is there a second? Second. Mr. Copeland, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13 is consider an act on payment of bills. You have an opportunity to review the bills. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Mr. Gable, is there a second? Mr. Morrison, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14 is consider an act on resolutions and proclamations. As we do close today, I'd like to do some memory of Arnold A. Barrios, Mike Williamson, Louise Elaine Morley, and Gloria Camacho. Any others?
Beatrice Lada.
Beatrice Lotta? Any others? If not, that concludes this agenda and this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
Did you know Mike?